I never really struggled with being left-handed until I tried to write something for a vlog, and you can't see that, you can just see my hand, so I apologise for that. So first thing I'm going to do is make some bug spray. Say hi guys. The freeloaders. This is the messy freeloader. Hello. This is the poorly one. Well, she's disabled, she's not poorly, she's a good girl. Right, so let us go. Right, so I'm making homemade bug spray, and I'm just using, I've got some neem oil, some washing up liquid, just regular, like, this is Tesco's own. I'm going to put it in this spray bottle. Now, top tip, you don't need to, you can literally, we're just mixing this up, it's fine. But if you put your neem oil in first, add warm water, then the neem oil will melt in the water because it's normally like sticky and gross. And then, yeah, we add warm water, that'll melt the neem oil, and then we put in the washing up liquid because it'll just get bubbles otherwise. So I'm just putting some in. I don't have an amount, just, you know, some. And then fill it up with warm water. Put in a squirt of this. Screw it on. And give it a shake. There we go. Homemade bug spray. So there's a few thrips on this Hoya. No, it's not Hoya. What is it? It's a Calathea Musica. So I'm just going to spray. This is probably too much, but I don't want to get water and spray everywhere. I'll do it over the bath, but the acoustics aren't, you know, stunning. And then I just give the leaves a wipe down. Like, how thoroughly I do this massively depends on the plant, how much I like it, how many leaves it's got. Like, this is only 3 leaves and it's a pretty plant, so I'm not that bothered. And I know, I've already said this, that neem oil isn't like a plant bug murderer. It's not going to get out there and obliterate all the plant bugs, but it's got properties that can like get rid of the populations of bugs over time. Plus, because it's an oil, it can suffocate the bugs sort of on contact. I mean, it's not going to kill them all, but it'll get a few. The thing about pest care is there's not a product out there that will work on every plant in every situation that everyone can get hold of. The only thing that will work for everybody is consistently removing the bugs. And it takes ages, like months. But that's really the only way to do it. And I know it's not what you want to hear. You want like some magical product. Other than releasing like predatory mites or ladybirds or something. So I've just done the bug spray where I went and sprayed all my, well, not all of them, but all the really bad plants with bug spray, and realised that I hadn't filmed it. I'd just taken a picture of it. So there is that. But I was just talking about like spraying plants with plant spray, and I've moved my plant shelves. These were in the living room, and they've moved into my office, which I love. I've got everything up here. There's like a few plants downstairs just for like decor, but being able to do all like things like being able to fertilise all my plants in one go, rather than having to like, normally I would move them all into my kitchen and it was like a whole big thing and I would dread doing it, so then they wouldn't get fertilised. But having them all here together, and then I've got my little watering station here that used to be in my kitchen, and yeah, it's not ideal at all, but what am I doing? Like having a lot of water in a carpeted room isn't like ideal at all, but it makes plant care easier, so that's why we're doing that. Right, what is next? So my Hoya Bella was a cutting that I took and put in the aero garden like a couple of months ago, I think, and it's done amazingly well, like incredibly well. I think all future Hoya props will be done in the AeroGarden because they really, really seem to like it. So I'm just going to pot it up now in some leca. Right, so none of these props are really working. This is going to go in after. I'm going to replace the Hoya with this. So none of these are doing well. This is Aglaonema that's only just gone in. Maybe there's some root growth, who knows. The others aren't doing very well at all. The ZZ, which I didn't think would root. We were getting some nice roots in there. He's not quite ready yet. I haven't decided whether I'm going to pot him up with my other one or put him in leca. I might put him in leca just because I want to. But, you ready for this? The roots on this are amazing. So it's going to go in, I'm going to put it in leca and it's going to go in this net pot. So I've got some leca here. So what you want to do is fill up. Okay, that hole's really big. Find a big bit of leca. So we want 1/3 of the pot filled with leca. Never mind. Gently. Oh my god, it's going to ruin them all. Come on, out you come. It's actually new growth. So we've got new growth here. And on the end as well. I think it's actually trying to bloom. So I actually thought I was special because my Hoya Bello was blooming, but if you look on Reddit, everybody's is. These net pots, I think I paid £8 for them, I think, off the top of my head. From AliExpress, got 50. I wanted bigger ones really. They said they were like 5 centimetres in diameter, which they are, but like 2 centimetres of it is this rim. There's roots sticking out of the edge, but I'm not that bothered about that. And just tap it like this. We don't want massive air pockets. And then I'm just going to get this Maranta. I honestly don't know if this Maranta is going to do anything, but we shall see. I don't like to give up without a fight. Right, then I need something to put it in. Perfect. More of them. Done that. Right, watering. So when it comes to watering, what I normally do... Oh god, ignore him. Look how crap he looks. That's like a lot of thrip damage. I normally just go along, look at the plants, look for like, so this one's got curled leaves and it feels a little bit like weaker. So what we're going to do, and it's hard to tell in terracotta pots. So in plastic pots you can tell if they need watering by how light they are, but it is a bit more difficult in terracotta. And then I'm just going to put him in there to bottom water and leave him. That Aglaonema's still got a bit of time to go. Right, so is it going to have to come out of the pot? Oh, I see. Okay. Really regretting not putting a towel down or something. Just glad I've got a really big desk. You know when you've really not thought something through? No. I'm gonna have to start at the bottom and work up. As I'm doing this, I'm like, I can just see myself just leaving it. No. Come on, Caroline. There we go. I've got an end. I may end up just cutting these vines off. There's one down. Kind of. Another one? Hey, right. When I bought this, I got it quite cheap and I loved it. And then as soon as I brought it home, I was like, I'm sort of over yet, which is sad. I did exactly the same thing with my Hoya Australis Lisa. But that, when it has new leaves, they're bright, bright, like fuchsia pink. And that swayed me a bit. I was like, oh no, maybe it is nice. But this thing, I don't know. I was like over Hoya so quickly. Like I love my Bella, I think just because it bloomed. But this, I think it is because it's on this vine thing. One of the things about Hoya, like I love Hoya like to care for because they don't need watering very often, which is right up my street. But also when they do need watering, you can tell they go really like, I'm going to use the word flaccid, and I'm sorry. But if you see what they look like that is the word. So yeah, I like plants that don't need watering very often, but when they do need watering, they let you know visually rather than just dying. So yeah, but this, I don't know what it is. I was just like, no. So I'm hoping that if we can go through this trauma together, I'll prefer it. Right, there's one side free. I wonder if I can just, no, there are no shortcuts here. It's really weird, the stems are really loose. Hey! Sure I can find a use for this. There we go. Hoya silver spot. I don't think that's right. I think this is a pubicalis. I don't know. It for some reason it sounds rude to me, so I'm like, wait, because it's got the word pubic in it, and I am apparently 5 years old. But yeah, it's sold as a Hoya silver spot, and yeah, I'm gonna actually. Well, first I'm gonna get rid of all the crap on the side. So here she is after. She's still got like some of the vines are intertwined, but I don't want to bother her that much. I'm going to give her a good spray down. Just with the bug spray because she's got thrips. So yeah. She also passes her thrips on to everybody, so I think she is going to go and live by herself somewhere. Until she learns how to behave and keep her diseases to herself. So I don't think it's too much to ask, but apparently with plants it is. Right, so these are done. Oh, well, that looks incredible, Caroline, well done. So the last thing we have to do is make up leca nutrients. My phone is being a real pain in the ass, so I was just explaining, I've already done it, so this is my nutrient water and it's pretty much already done. So I'll just go through it briefly and then I'll show you the last one because I've not put the last one in yet. So you start with Flora Micro, because you have to add this in first to, I don't know, you just do. So, but you have to add the nutrients to water. You can't add them together and then add to water, because if you mix them together in their raw form, as it were, it causes nutrient lockout, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds bad, and I'm guessing it just means that the plant can't absorb certain nutrients. So that's what we're doing. So got 5 litres of water here, so that was 5 ml of this, 7.5 ml of this, and then we're going to do 3 of this. Got to shake them first, and you've got to shake it, which I've not done yet. You've got to shake it between each one. Now I'm doing a gentle shake because I can already see water going everywhere. Need a bigger syringe. 1. This is my Super Thrive syringe. I used to have all separate ones, and then I got lazy. Yeah, that's my nutrient water made up. So the reason I went on to leca, bear in mind, this is my job. I write about plants for a living, as somebody that isn't actually particularly diligent about looking after them. So it's worth it for me to try new things. I wouldn't like rush out to anybody and say like you need to start using leca. It's really good. It's interesting and it's good for certain things. And I wouldn't say there's any like downsides other than it being like, so it's a faff for some certain things. You need to clean off the roots. You need to learn about it. You need to mix the nutrients. But you don't need to worry so much about overwatering. You don't need to, if you want to just be on a watering schedule, leca's brilliant because you can just go around every week and fill up the reservoirs, and it's much easier. Even things like flushing, yeah, it's best to flush, but so flushing is when you just rinse the leca through with plain tap water. It gets rid of like the build-up. You get like this white crust on the leca, and it's like mineral build-up and fertilizer and stuff. So you do need to get rid of that. But I just do it. I don't have that on a schedule. If I see it, I just wash it off. But the reason I got into leca was I thought that it would get rid of bugs, and it doesn't. So if that's why you're doing it, it is easier to care for them when they're in leca because you can take the whole plant out and rinse it, and you don't need to worry about overwatering it, saturating the soil, that kind of thing. And fungus gnats really struggle to live in leca because there's no fungus for them to eat. So they just wouldn't come. But thrips and spider mites, which are much more of a pain in the ass than fungus gnats, have absolutely no problem with leca at all. They're happy to live on it. So yeah, so just tilt you down a bit. So this is a little Hoya Bella, and I'm just going to pour some. Right, this is going to go really bad. I need to get a funnel. I'm not a careful person and I'm quite lazy, so I should really test the pH, shouldn't I? This really isn't something that I would normally do, but I'm like, fuck it. So to test the pH, you just get a little thing, fill it up. I didn't know how to do all this stuff properly last year. I spent ages learning. This is the tiniest thing in the world. Where is... Yeah, so I've got a little thing full of water. Just put a couple of drops in and see what colour it turns. Now what are we looking for? We're looking for between... Well, I'm supposed to shake this. Don't want to. Gonna. I think it's too full to shake. So what we're looking for is between 7 and 8. Is that right? Or between 6 and 7? Between 6 and 7. So we're looking for like a yellow. And that is, I mean, I'm colourblind, but that's yellow. That's fine. And I'm just going to tip it back in. Can I tip it back in? Yeah. Okay. Right, so what I will say, if you're learning, I'll just see you. When you're learning about leca, it's so overwhelming. There is so much stuff. So there's a Facebook group called the Lazy Leca group, and they're much more, they're lazier about it, so it's less overwhelming, whereas everyone else is like, you need to get all the soil off the roots, like all your plants will die, ponds better. There isn't any of that. So yeah. I'm actually having an issue with my phone. That's why I keep missing. Like, my phone keeps not recording, and it's saying that it is, but it isn't. So yeah. So normally you would fill the reservoir a third full, because when you've cleaned the roots off. When you've cleaned the roots off, you have soil roots, and they aren't great at absorbing oxygen from water, and you can end up getting root rot. But because I propped this in the area garden, it's already got water roots, so I'm happy to let it have soil roots. No? So I'm like, the roots are in the water, and that's fine. It will be 100% fine. When your plant has water roots, it's fine to let them sit in the water. That's fine. And you'll find that as the roots grow, they'll grow towards the water, because all roots do. I hope that was useful. I'm sorry there were technical issues, but I think I know what they are now, so hopefully none of that again. If you have any questions about any of the stuff I've covered today, like, feel free to leave comments. I'm not like an expert on leca, but I am getting to the stage now where I can tell some plants really respond. They really like you to do everything correctly, and you need to get the roots really clean, and you need to have the pH right. But a lot of plants aren't that bothered, as long as you keep an eye on them. And if they've got, say you can't get the soil off the roots, so as long as you keep an eye on them, change the water a lot, they'll be fine. So I am kind of getting into where it feels a little bit more, what's the word? Oh my god, what is the word? It's sort of more instinctive. That isn't the word I was looking for, but when you first start looking after plants and you're completely like relying on your moisture meter, and you're terrified everything's going to die all the time. But now I'm like, well, that plant's dying, but I'm confident I could bring it back. I'm getting more like that with leca. I'm kind of understanding it more. So I'm not an expert by any means, and probably never will be because I'm too lazy, but I can probably answer questions. So yeah, if you want anything answering, please let me know, and I will see you next week. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.